I'm the self-designated chief eating officer of a food venture called the Bori Kitchen. My friends also call me the guy who quit Google to sell samosas. My journey began on January 2015 on a fine Saturday afternoon, on a day off from work. I was sitting at home catching up on Simpsons, and my mother comes in and changes the channel to watch one of those Saas Bahu shows, Indian soap operas. I did a very stupid thing at that point in time. I told my Mom, I think you need to do something more productive with your time. She did not react well. But it did lead to one fairly positive thing. It led to the creation of the Bori Kitchen. The Bori Kitchen is an attempt, or it was an attempt by me and my mom to invite my friends and her friends to my house to eat food made by her, food that belongs to the Dawoodi Bohra community. With one twist, we would charge people to eat this food. And in return, we would not only feed them, but we would give them a glimpse of our culture, of our community, and our traditions. Take it as proof of how successful the first experience in January 2015 was, that today, as I stand in front of you, there are 26 people at my house who are going to come at 12:30 to eat food made by my mother. We fed over 3,000 people who've paid anywhere between 1,500 to 2,500 rupees a person and booked in advance to eat food made by her. My mom has gone from watching stars in soap operas and Saas Bahu shows to feeding stars at my house. From feeding stars, she's gone to receiving awards from stars. This is Shilpa Shetty giving my mother the Rising Star Award from Midday. This is for feeding people on a Saturday and Sunday at her house. You would think my mother, the same woman who sits in the living room silently, plays Candy Crush and is content, she would be content with this. She would be content with feeding stars. She would be content with receiving awards from stars. She wasn't. She decided she's going to make her delinquent of her son into a star. Because of her fantastic samosas, I get an opportunity to come on the cover of Forbes magazine. Because of her, I get to come on stage and address all of you. It literally keeps me awake at night thinking that one home dining experience and one mother could do so much. It could do so much for my family. It could do so much for my community. What would happen if we created 100 home dining experiences across communities, across cultures, across cuisines? What would it do for tourism in India? I don't know how many of you know this, but the financial capital of this country, Bombay, the average foreigner comes to Bombay and spends anywhere between 1 to 1.5 days in Bombay when they come to India. Compare this with any other financial capital in the world. Go to New York. They spend on average 9 days in New York. Why does this happen? This happens because they treat Bombay like they do any other urban city in this country. They treat it as a transition point into a tourism destination like Kerala or Goa. They don't realize that the cities in India, they are these beautiful cauldrons, melting pots of culture, of communities. Maharashtra itself has over 50 subcultures and cuisines, each with their own distinct tradition, cuisine, story, culture. Okay, take Pathare Prabhu food, or Kolhapuri food, or Saoji food, or Konkani food, or even Parsi food in Maharashtra. If this is Maharashtra, what would happen in India? I feel there's tremendous potential to create these home dining experiences in our country, to market them, monetize them, and take them across the world. So one, the benefit, what it would do for tourism in India. The second benefit, what would it do for inter-community relationships? The 3,000 people who've come to my house, almost every single one of them is a non-Bori. When they come home and then they leave, they don't just leave with full stomachs. They leave with full hearts and full minds. They've experienced the hospitality of a Dawoodi Bohra family. When they leave my place, they actually leave as custodians of not only the Kapadia family, but also the Bori community. I literally think that the day we create 100 home dining experiences, we activate 100 homemakers, we feed 4 lakh, 10 lakh people and take them through the same experience, you will actually make it that much more difficult for politicians in our country to sway the middle class on communal lines. Like Cesar Chavez said, if you really want to make a friend, go to someone's house and eat with him. The people who give you their food give you their heart. But the most important benefit of creating 100 home dining experiences, what does it do for the homemaker? The Bori Kitchen has clearly benefited me tremendously, personally, professionally. But it's given my mom the one thing she ever wanted in life. It's given her acknowledgement. Me and my 3 siblings, when we sit in the living room and we eat lunch, while eating, our reaction is, Mom, what's for dinner? But when I have complete strangers come into my house and pay money to eat this food, They react by hugging my mother. They react by telling my mom, Auntie, you have magic in your hands. What would happen if we did this for another 100, for another 1,000 homemakers out there? I genuinely think we would challenge the stereotype that a homemaker cannot be a home buyer. Finally, I would like to end this presentation with a wish, a hope of sorts, that one day Lakshmi invites me back on stage, maybe a year, maybe 2 years from now. But she doesn't introduce me, or I don't introduce myself as the chief eating officer of the Bohri Kitchen, but instead I introduce myself as the chief eating officer of nearly everything. Because I genuinely hope that by then, I would have come a step closer, a significant step closer to achieving my dream, which is to create the Airbnb of home dining experiences. Thank you.